Hey guys, what's going on? Tennessee Frank here. Just wanted to show you my latest acquisition since the Ruger is off getting repaired, and when it gets back it's probably going to end up being my wife's gun anyhow. But I was still in need for a small lightweight revolver for carry. Couldn't find anything locally. Everything's like twice what it should be as far as price. But you see, this is clear. What I ended up picking up was a M&P Bodyguard 38, and you see this is rated for plus P, pinned in sight, which I like. Some of them are fixed, but this is pinned, so I can replace it later if I like. You notice there's no latch on the side. They put it back here, which I like that too, because that's one less thing for brass to snag on whenever you're ejecting your rounds. Makes it easier to get your speed loaders in there too. You see there's nothing to catch on your speed loaders. And I picked up a couple of these. They're the HKS, the 36s, and they are loaded with 130 grain hollow points, and it's the Winchester Defender, and doesn't say PDX1. I'm not sure what's going on, but it is the same 130 grain bonded. I mean, as far as velocity and everything, you know, they're saying 950. I'm sure that's out of a 4-inch barrel. Probably be a bit less. I also picked up a box of Federal 158 grain lead round nose just to kind of play around with. You can see this is just your typical kind of your old cop bullet, like they ran forever in their 38s. And then I did do some hand loads. Got this loaded up with 125 grain berries, flat point. Thought that might be a good practice load. Yeah, this comes with a neat little case. Revolver goes here. Of course, I think they're using this same case for the 380 Bodyguard. That's like for your magazine, I guess, and then the gun. But yeah, it's a decent enough little case. And I did have a holster left over. This is, oh God, probably 20 years old that I've had this. Little Uncle Mike's. I adjusted that, and it fits. I mean, it's not perfect. I think this was for an old K-frame I had. But yeah, I mean, it fits well enough right now for, you know, drawer duty, for just sticking in there and then putting in the drawer. I do have another set of grips coming. I ordered Hogue G10 grips, because these grips are on the small side for me. I mean, there's nothing really there to grab. I also have a Concealment Express Kydex holster on the way, and a couple speed strips. I like the speed strips because they're a little bit flatter. They fit in the pocket a little better. The only modification I've done to this, if you notice the front sight, if I don't bump the camera here, I did take a little of my luminous paint. See if we can get her to focus. And I kind of put it down in the grooves so it won't rub off as easily. And you can see we can hit this with some light, and you can see there how it glows. So I wanted something for a little bit like a night sight kind of deal. So that luminous paint, I mean, it's coming in handy. Works great here. And that yellow, it really stands out, especially against a darker background. Against, you know, black sight on black, it's kind of harder to see. But that yellow, it makes it a little bit easier. But one interesting feature, if you'll notice in here, there's no window for a hand to rotate the cylinder. Normally on your Smith and Wessons, there'll be a little window on the right side where the hand comes up as you pull the trigger or cock the hammer, which has an internal hammer. And that's what spins the cylinder. And this would normally spin in a counterclockwise direction. Well, on this, you can see here how that moves back. That's how the cylinder is allowed to disengage. It's like a little star. And that fits in to this little star mechanism and locks it together. And you'll see this actually spins the way a Colt would spin clockwise, which is kind of unusual for Smith and Wesson. Smith and Wesson is always counterclockwise, Colt's clockwise. Well, with this setup the way it is, it's a little different. And most of the reviews I watched on this gun, they never point that out, how that engages in there. Trigger pull also fairly smooth. I mean, it is not a bad pull. I'm sure with shooting it's going to get smoother, and hopefully we'll get out Friday and get to put some rounds downrange. Like I said, I got 100 rounds here, 50 in another box, 50 there. I got this this stuff here. This is pricey. It's around $30 a box for 20, even with my discount from work. It's still like $22 for a box of that. So it's over $1 a round for this stuff. So yeah, I'm going to be real sparing with this. I'll probably put 5 on target, see where it hits, and then run 5 through the chronograph just to get a kind of a mean velocity to see kind of what kind of foot-pounds we're getting here. With this, I'll put more of this on target, run some through the chronograph, and just for kind of grins, I'll put this on target and run a few rounds through the chronograph. That'll be a separate video, you know, chronograph testing on these 3 loads. But yeah, this is going to be my EDC once I get out and get a chance to shoot it. And comparable to this would be something like the Ruger LCR, in that this is an aluminum alloy frame, and then this is polymer. Same way that the LCR has the aluminum alloy, or if you go 357, you know, stainless, but aluminum alloy with polymer. So it's kind of a hybrid. Yeah, I mean, it's like old school, but it's modern technology. So you got your plastic and your stainless cylinder. It's got a coating on, I forget what they call it, PMR coating, I believe, something like that. It's like a coating that goes on electrostatically. It's not like a Cerakote, but it is kind of like a Cerakote in that it is a coating. It's not an actual, you know, like with bluing, it actually chemically reacts to the metal. This is just a coating that goes on to the stainless cylinder, stainless barrel insert, and then this is all one piece here. This is all molded in one piece, so you're not going to have an issue with the barrel not being clocked correctly. A lot of times when you have a barrel that actually screws in to the frame, you'll have an issue with clocking the barrel. Sometimes it'll be a little left, a little right, your sight won't be quite lined up. That's not going to be an issue with this, because this is all molded in together. Then this is set into the polymer, the grip frame. So there you got it. I mean, it's very, very simple design. And like I said, I like this latch up top. It's just a nice spot so you can get to it left or right, and you don't have that interfering with the rounds being ejected, like I said. Can't wait to get out and shoot this. I mean, I really want to see how it's going to work. I'm hoping it's going to do better than the Ruger. I mean, it should, from everything I've watched. These are pretty reliable little guns. Price point on these, without the laser, which I didn't want the laser. I think lasers are kind of useless on handguns. Your mileage may vary. This is my personal opinion. Out here, it's so bright, you can't really see a red laser anyway. Green lasers are not offered. They're a little easier to see, but still, you got the issue of batteries. I don't like to run anything that has batteries if I can help it. But price point on the one without the laser is right at $360. LCRX, which is a very similar gun in .38, is coming in at $520. So you're about $160 different for what I would consider the same basic gun. This is coming in, according to the book, at about 14.5 ounces. LCRX is running 13.5, so we're within an ounce. So they're both going to be very lightweight, you know, decent concealable guns. So hopefully this thing's going to run good. Hopefully Friday everything goes well. I'll be out. We'll put some rounds down range, get some chronograph data on the various types of ammo we have here, and then I'll roll in a part 2, show you some targets, let you know how it done, and should have my grips and stuff by then. And also I'll roll out a video on chronograph out of this little barrel. It's 1 7/8, so it's not a whole lot of barrel to play with, but we'll see what it'll do. So like I always say, either we stand up for our rights or we can sit by and watch them go away. Hope you enjoyed the video. Y'all have an awesome rest of the day. Tennessee Frank out of here.